Before getting in this video, I would like to thank Lorenzo Lewis and Slade13 for giving me the idea for this battle. Thanks a lot, dudes. Mace Windu was born on the planet Harun Kal in 72 BBY. After being taken to the Jedi Order at a young age, Mace Windu quickly rose to prominence in the Order. After being granted the rank of Jedi Master, Mace Windu was elected to serve on the Jedi Council. A revered diplomat and fierce warrior, Mace Windu repeatedly took leadership roles in some of the Jedi's most dangerous missions. It was Mace Windu who led the campaign on Geonosis to rescue Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Padme Amidala. After a fierce battle and the timely arrival of the new clone army, the Clone Wars had officially begun. Mace Windu became a general in the Clone Wars and served at the head of some of the war's greatest battles. After Palpatine revealed himself as the Sith Lord Darth Sidious to Anakin Skywalker, Anakin informed Mace Windu of this grievous news. Mace Windu gathered a team of some of the Jedi Council's greatest warriors in order to bring this Sith to justice. While his fellow Jedi were cut down in seconds, Mace Windu was able to defeat the Dark Lord. But before Mace Windu could finish the job, Anakin Skywalker intervened. Anakin Skywalker cut off Mace Windu's hand before he was able to deliver the death blow. Darth Sidious then unleashed the full force of his power on the Jedi Master, blasting him out into Coruscant's underlevels, killing him. With Mace Windu's death, Palpatine's rise to power had begun. Mace Windu is known for his stoic leadership and incredible dueling skills. Born on the planet Korriban over 5,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, Naga Sadow was a Dark Lord of the Sith who served the Sith Empire during its Golden Age. After the death of Dark Lord Marka Ragnos, Naga Sadow and his rival Ludo Kresh dueled for the position as ruler of the Empire. After a group of Republic explorers stumbled upon the Empire, Naga Sadow used them to spark deceit within the Empire and provoke a war with the Republic. After getting rid of his competitors, Naga Sadow was crowned Dark Lord of the Sith and led a full-scale invasion on the Republic. With this, the Great Hyperspace War had begun. Naga Sadow used his powerful Sith sorcery to cast illusions and break the morale of his enemies. However, the Republic, with the aid of the Jedi, was able to beat back the Sith Lord's forces. With the Republic on his heels, Sadow was forced to fake his death and take up hiding on the moon of Yavin. Sadow placed himself in stasis until he was awakened by the fallen Jedi Freedom Nad. After training Nad in the ways of the Sith, Sadow was killed by his apprentice. Sadow's spirit later possessed the body of a Jedi Padawan and attempted to kill the Jedi's master, Ovar. Ovar prevailed though, and Sadow's spirit was incapacitated. Naga Sadow is known for his cunning and deceit, as well as his mastery of Sith sorcery. First, we will examine them physically. Mace Windu is a 53-year-old human male and is in extremely good shape despite his age. He is capable of going hand-to-hand with much bigger and younger combatants, such as Carvaster on Harun Kal, and his reflexes are still extremely well-honed, and his senses are still extremely sharp. However, I would say that he isn't currently at his physical prime, as that probably already passed him, but it is a negligible difference at best. Naga Sadow is a human male Sith hybrid who is implied to be over a century in age. Although he is extremely old, he still appears to be in the prime of his physical state. The Korriban Sith species are naturally more tougher and adaptable than humans, and Naga Sadow demonstrates those traits accordingly. I would have to give Naga Sadow the edge in terms of physical ability, mostly due to the fact that his species is naturally tougher than humans, and although he isn't a full Masasi, he still exhibits the more beneficial traits of that species. Now we compare them as martial artists and lightsaber duelists. Mace Windu was one of the greatest duelists of his era, and had many years developing his dueling skills. Throughout the Order's history, it was said that only Yoda or Dooku could best him in a duel, although this was likely judged for a specific time frame. However, what made Mace Windu so unique was his lightsaber style Vapad. A style of his own creation, Vapad was created from Form 7, Juyo, the most aggressive of all lightsaber styles. Vapad is the absolute most aggressive form of lightsaber dueling, requiring great mental control just to master. Vapad requires the user to enjoy the fight, having the passion and the drive to win. It is also essentially a conductor, feeding on the dark side energy of the opponent to fuel the user. Essentially, Vapad is the textbook definition of using the enemy's own strength against them, drawing on the dark fury and channeling it out again without being consumed by it. Vapad is so fast and devastating that during their fight, Mace Windu and Palpatine were said to be fading in and out of existence. The users of this style were so fast that they were said to be wielding multiple lightsabers at once. Vapad's only real weakness is that if the enemy's dark force abilities are strong enough and the other combatant is using Vapad, they may end up fighting forever until one of them drops dead from exhaustion, as it would just create a continuous loop. Also in the novel Shatterpoint on Harun Kal, Mace Windu used a dual blade version of Vapad, showing some skill in Jar Kai dual blade fencing. Although Naga Sadow is mainly a Force user, his dueling skills are reasonably honed. Although his exact style has not been stated, due to the era he lived in and the circumstances of his training, it is likely he specializes in Form 1 Shicho and Form 2 Makashi, as they were the most developed styles at the time of the Dark Jedi's exile. Form 1 is all about letting the motion of the battle work with you, and becoming random with strikes and foot placement. The only real downside to this style is it is terrible against single opponents, as it is a style mainly designed to contend with big groups of people, hence the random blade placement. Form 2 Makashi is geared towards lightsaber dueling and is very precise and efficient. Very deadly, but at the same time very elegant. However, as I said, Naga Sadow is primarily a Force user, and his actual battles with his blade have been very few and far between, so it does stand to reason that he is not one for dueling, as he might not be very good at it. But this is just an observation. I think it's obvious who gets the edge here. Mace Windu completely outclasses Sadow as a duelist, and his style would allow him to feed off Sadow's aggression to fuel himself, as well as Sadow's own blade styles not being geared towards single opponents. Mace Windu gets the edge as a martial artist and lightsaber duelist. Now we examine their Force abilities. Mace Windu's Force abilities were highly advanced, and he was said to be one of the most powerful Jedi of his age. Basically put, his Force pushes and shoves were able to send entire squadrons of battle droids hurtling through the air. Mace Windu also has great skill with Force speed, and is said to be able to move almost faster than the human eye can perceive. Mace Windu was also gifted with the ability to see shatter points, basically the ability to see the slightest flaws and imperfections in an opponent's style or armor. During the Battle of Dantooine, he used Shatterpoint combined with Force-imbued strength to destroy entire waves of super battle droids with his bare freaking hands. However, for all its benefits, Shatterpoint has one major weakness. Mace Windu has been shown to only be able to read a person's Shatterpoint and perceive it in his own way. Basically, if the Shatterpoint doesn't make sense to him, it can be tricked or even cause him to let his guard down. He has also been seen to demonstrate some skill with the Jedi Mind Trick and the Beast Trick ability. However, Mace Windu did not use these abilities too often. Delving into the secret forbidden Sith arts, Naga Sadow was able to unlock abilities far beyond his fellow Sith. Sadow was extremely proficient in alchemy and magic, using it to various degrees. He was able to use curses and spells to confuse his opponents, as well as command beasts. He is a practice hand at Force lightning, and has used his Force grips to open up points of attack on his opponents, disorienting them and taking the advantage of their confusion. During the Great Hyperspace War, Sadow locked himself in his meditation pod and not only utilized battle meditation, but was able to cast illusions so real that he made his armies seem twice as large as they actually were. These illusions were so powerful that they were actually able to cause damage to varying degrees. He was even able to cause solar flares and cause entire stars to explode. However, he was only able to do this with the aid of his Force-empowered ships and a tremendous buildup of power. It is not something he could just do on command. As it currently stands, Naga Sadow is the more skilled Force user, at least in terms of overall combative ability. However, I will say that his edge is only by a very short margin, as Mace Windu's Force abilities are more than powerful enough to keep up. The thing is though, I can't imagine Mace Windu having the easiest time coping with Naga Sadow's magic, as he has never had any experience with a Force user who's ever used alchemy before. So I do believe it would be a challenge to overcome. Naga Sadow gets the edge in terms of a Force user. Now we examine Armament. Mace Windu utilized a beautifully crafted single-bladed lightsaber. It features two hand grips, one in the center and one on the lower side, signifying two-handed and one-handed alternation use. It is very well designed, sleek, and efficient, and sports a very nice chrome finish if I do say so myself. Mace Windu's lightsaber utilizes a single purple Adagan crystal as the focusing lens. Since he lived in an era where lightsabers were not commonplace, Naga Sadow utilized a Force-imbued poison Sith sword. These Sith swords were commonplace among the Sith Empire in its golden age. Basically how they work is the user imbues them with dark side energy, and in some cases a little bit of their own spirit, so that only they could use them properly. However, I will say that these swords were extremely archaic for the time, and were basically constructed out of very durable crystal. However, although these weapons are very powerful, I do have to call their durability into question, as in some instances they've been shown to smash into each other and even deflect low-grade blaster bolts to several extents, but on the other hand, Dark Lord Ludo Kresh was able to smash his to pieces using just pure muscle, so it is likely that the durability of these swords depends on how much force energy the user puts into it. With that said, it is not a very practical weapon, as if that is the case, the user would constantly have to keep refilling it just to keep it from breaking after it hits things, and that really is not a good weapon to use. I would have to give Mace Windu the edge in terms of armament, mostly due to the fact that his lightsaber is much better designed than Sadow's poison blade, and he doesn't have to keep refilling it with force energy. And now, the verdict. As it stands, both combatants are extremely powerful force users and duelists, but in the end, I would say Mace Windu would win. The main reason for this is how his skills stack up compared to Sadow's. Mace Windu's mastery of the Vaapad style completely outclasses Sadow's skills with his blade, and Mace Windu is a fair matchup in terms of force abilities. If the two of them actually fought, I believe it would play out like this. Mace Windu's Vaapad style would allow him to feed off Sadow's aggression and dark side sorcery. This in turn would not allow Sadow to use the full force of his powers, and what little blade work Sadow has, it would do nothing more than buy him time. And after Mace Windu disarmed Sadow, Sadow would immediately resort to his force abilities. And as long as Mace Windu keeps the pressure on and doesn't fall for Sadow's illusions, Naga Sadow would be completely defenseless and would get cut down in short order. I declare Jedi Master Mace Windu the victor. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that Versus series. Please leave comments for future Versus series in the comments section below. Remember guys, this is just my opinion, nobody else's. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.